So what's quite odd is I just noticed that they've got red lights on the monument on the top of the Law Hill. I don't know when they did that, but certainly never used to. So never had any navigational lights on the monument on the Law Hill. The only navigational light was on the mast, the radio mast. That's the train going over the Dundee rail bridge over towards Fife. And in the background you can see the docks, the oil rigs. This is looking from Wormit Bay. These navigational lights is lights on top of Craigabel, the masts on Craigabel. The ones to the right of it are the ones on the monument on the Law Hill. There is a mast light you might just be able to make out. The Law Hill radio transmitter is very faint. The other red lights at the bottom of that is car lights, car tail lights. But you might just make out to the left of the mast, the monument rather, the two red lights on the monument. If you look to the top light on the monument, then just look over to the left, you might just faintly see a light high up, nearly the same level as it. That's the one on the top of the radio transmitter on the Law Hill. The one at the bottom, that red light between them at the bottom, that'll be a car tail light. So I'm going to go up there and just have a look at that, because as I say, it's the first I've known about it. The red lights are on the monument on... Actually, it's called Dundee Law, technically. It's not really called the Law Hill, because in the old language, law meant hill. So when you say the Law Hill, you're actually saying the hill. So technically, it's called the Dundee Law. And I'm going to get footage of that train going over the... Terrail Bridge. So as a conclusion, the concluding part of my video, I've investigated it. I was at Wormit Bay, over in Fife, looking over towards the Dundee Law. There's the monument. It's not very clear at the moment because it is pitch dark. I've got the torchlight on, but it's not going to really illuminate it very much. But there's the monument anyway, what you could see of it. Clearly there's no lights on it. You can see the lights on the transmitter, the radio transmitter on the top of Dundee Law. Now, from the viewpoint, I was over in Fife at Wormit Bay, looking over towards Dundee Law, and it appeared there was two red navigational lights on the Dundee Law monument. Now, upon investigation, I've came up and had a look. There aren't. However, behind it, looking over towards the Craigabel Hills, there is the TV transmitter mast, several miles away from it. That made it appear that these red lights were on the Dundee Law monument. It was in fact an optical illusion. And going up to the summit of Dundee Law, looking over towards the north boundary of Dundee, Craigabel Hill, Sidlow Hill range, I could see now, well, you could see now, the 5 navigational lights on the radio transmitter, the TV transmitter, the Angus transmitter mast. That's the Angus transmitter mast. To the left of that is Craigabel Hill, with its mast on the top of the two lights. There's the radio transmitter on top of Dundee Law, the navigational light. And looking over towards Fife, Wormit Bay, you can see the rail bridge, rail bridge navigational lights for the boats, ships, the maritime navigational lights. And just to the right of that is Wormit Bay, the dark area where I was standing at. And from that point, as I say, it looked like there was lights on the monument on the top of Dundee Law. I've come up here, clearly there aren't any lights on the monument, and it was the illusion from the mast, Angus transmitter mast. When I started moving away from Wormit, I noticed that these lights, where it appeared there was only 2 on the monument, then it appeared there was 3, 4, and then it dawned on me that it was an optical illusion. Because it is dark, You know, if I was during the day, I would have noticed quite clearly that it was the. I would probably see the mast, the Angus transmitter mast from where I was at earlier, and I wouldn't have came to that conclusion earlier, thinking that there was navigational lights on the monument. But because it's dark, it's so much more difficult to, you know, it's impossible to see the structure unless it's lit up. And it just gave us that illusion that there was two lights on the monument. That intrigued me and got me over here, because when I looked at it I said, no way there's a lights on that monument. So I just had to come over to verify it. But as I was driving across from Wormit Bay through Newport and eventually across the Tay Road Bridge, it became more clearer to me that it was more likely to be Angus transmitter mast. And that's pretty much what I've concluded that it is. So, mystery solved, unfortunately. I was hoping it'd be a mystery. I was hoping there would be lights on the monument, because that would have been an absolute amazement to me, because I'd be like, wow, so there's a Mandela effect or something, you know, something really bizarre, because no way. No way. Because I would have noticed that earlier, and it just appeared. I went up for a wee walk. I had my tea over in Wormit at the bay, sitting in my car, and then I went for a wee stretch, and I walked over and I said, wow, since when did they come up? It just appeared. It's like what the Mandela effect phenomenon is like. Things, it's a sort of similar feeling. This, by the way, is just at the back of the where all the equipment is for the radio transmitter. This is the building, so it's got this artwork on it. So that's it. What is a bit odd though, there is another mast to the right of the Angus transmitter. There's another mast very much like it. I can't remember what it is. Is it Maniki mast or something? I can't remember. I would have thought I would have seen it. It doesn't appear to be anywhere. And there's no way the lights would be off. So maybe that's a bit something that's quite unusual and just experiencing right now. Because I'm just looking now and I can't seem to see it anywhere. Because there's two of these. There's the one at Craigable, which is that one, part of Sidlow House. Well, it's near, it's just to the east of Craigable. That's Craigable there. The mast on it, the tallest mast with the navigational lights. By the way, that's a strange thing in itself, because I have done a video on that regarding these. I won't go into it in this, just make the video too long. There's the Angus transmitter lights, and then there is another mast over there, over towards the east, in the Maniki area, Forfar Maniki area. Can't remember what it's called, but I thought I would have seen it from here. I thought they were both visible. Because it's a tall structure that's like that. It's really, well, that's about 250 metres or something high, 270 metres high, the structure. The other one will be similar. And yet I can't see it. So that's kind of got me wondering, but not going to investigate that now, because I've just, my mates are waiting in the car. So I'm going to have to get them back up the road, and I'll be here all night otherwise. But yeah, that did intrigue me. I just had to investigate that further. So anyway, conclusion concluded. There isn't any navigational lights on the monument on the top of Dundee Law.